Hey, good morning, Neverland. Getting out here today. I'm in a new area. It's one of those funny things because I kind of live in a what I'd call like a big city, but like it's a frontier city at the same time. So we got a bit of wilderness around. One of those things. A lot of it's private property. It's very unfortunate, but there's a lot that's not. And there's no signs, no fences, and so that's where I go. That's where I go because man, I love exploring, and nature's a beautiful area, and that's sometimes you walk into other dimensions by doing that, you guys. I don't know if I'm there yet today, but not necessarily looking for it today either. I'm gonna sit down here and make myself comfortable. Whew. Ah, man. Yeah, there we go. Takes some time. It's a little cold. I got my gloves on. Got some hat on. Um, I'm gonna be real, you guys. It was hard. It was hard last night and this morning. It's feeling really, really down. Uh, Energies that I'm very familiar with. Energies that I'm very familiar with. Letting go is a process, you guys, and I really want to stress that. And the biggest thing is not to go back to old habits, because that's just to be really real. Some of the habits that we have prolong our pain. I know I've said this before, but because it reinforces the devices and everything. And if we're capable of moving on, but we still keep those patterns, nothing's gonna change. Nothing's gonna change. Um, and so that is what it is. It is what it is, you guys. Uh, to kind of give my, you know, feelings interpretation for today. Oh God, you guys! Like I know the algorithm doesn't like to talk about stuff like this, but uh, screw it. I don't necessarily care. This is important information. you know, um, Suicidal feelings and tendencies, the desire to want to end it all, I think is a very real human emotion. Um, and for us to make it forbidden to even talk about, that we get demonetized, or the algorithm doesn't find us, that sucks, guys. How are we supposed to get better? How are people supposed to feel okay to talk about these kind of things if they're not allowed to talk about it? And so, just kind of on the fence there. I do like, I know, non sequitur. I jump around a lot. It's just how it is, guys. Because I do want to make money in so much as I want to be able to sustain myself. Like, that's the biggest thing. I want to be able to sustain myself. I want to be able to provide for the people that I love. I want to be able to fit in society and take care of those financial held at gunpoint situations too. Um, because that's kind of how I see. That's how I see it. Let's not mince words, you guys. They're holding guns to our heads. They're holding guns to our heads. So it's good to acknowledge it. They there's there was somebody, I can't remember. It might have been Jordan Maxwell, but it could have been somebody else who said like, you just, like, when they say just like, oh, you don't have to work, you don't have to earn money, you don't have to do those things. Be like, yeah, you're right. I don't have to. I'm free to starve, right? I'm free to starve. I'm free to be out in. And this is what's even more intense, you guys. Like, my city I would say, has a homeless epidemic. I mean, maybe the homeless epidemic is more, but it's just like it is. I would say it's endemic here. Like, the homeless population's a big thing, and the corporations and the businesses here make it very anti-homeless. And so, do you think that destroys homelessness? Oh, of course not. It makes it worse. It makes it worse. These business individuals and these individuals who are doing this are insane. Like, this is what's so difficult for me to understand, is that it just seems like the leadership capacity is just not there. They're not intelligent, and I don't know what to do. Like, I don't. Maybe it's imposter syndrome. I might have some of that going on. And getting up to 41 years old, I'm starting to see how, I guess, I am intelligent. You know, people have said that I am, and I recognize it. But at the same time, I don't feel like I'm that abnormal. I'm really just, I'm looking at stuff and I'm saying what I'm seeing. Like, is that really weird? Is that intelligent to look at things and then say what I see? Because that's what's going on. I use flavorful words, I guess you could say, a command of the English language. But I'm a simple guy. I'm a simple guy, you guys. Um, and so back on the subject of because it's all related, you guys. Like homelessness is one of those intense situations of, like, I would say, intense survival. Intense survival. I'm lucky in so much as I became homeless in a situation where I didn't have a really heavy drug addiction or anything. And so it was very much easier for me to navigate that kind of a situation because I didn't have that financial obligation to get drugs. And then I was in a fairly good state of mind. Um, Still dealing with things like what is it called? Like what I was just talking about. And I probably shouldn't. I shouldn't worry about saying those things. I already said it, so it doesn't really matter. But just dealing with wanting to end yourself, wanting to end existence, like and being homeless is a very intense experience because in a very real way, nobody cares about you. Nobody wants you around, and a lot of the attention that you get is either hated or like, oh, poor person, you're so incapable, and you need to be taken care of. But I'm not, and so here's a soda, here's like a handout. I might have to move here, you guys. Some of these dogs, man. Oh man, that's another subject. Dog owners, keeping your dog at home all day while you're working, you're torturing this dog. All right. All right, I've seen it more and more and more. There's so many of these dogs that are just getting abused through negligence. And it's the standard. I'm sorry, it's the standard right now. And maybe I just have really high standards, treat a living being like it's a living being, not like it's an object. But that's just me. That's just me. Um, and so it's one of those funny things. Uh, as always, guys, this unedited, nothing, nothing going on. Any stutters or glitches in the program, you're gonna see. Bear witness to. So it meanders quite a bit. Edited things are good. I might get into more edits in the future and stuff, but just patience, you guys, patience. I'm dealing with so much. We all are. We all are. And so I'm giving forward what I can right now. Because I feel like a lot of people are parallel with me, and hopefully I got the energy, the courage to kind of put into words, get it out there. But I think a lot of people are going through what I'm going through, either dealing with the suicidal feelings, dealing with homelessness, or just getting out of homelessness, and feeling alone, feeling like there's nobody or nothing that cares about you, and it's just not true. It's just not true. All right. I know it might seem cliche and everything. I care. Okay, I care about you. Please continue. Please continue. Okay. I know it's hard. I know it's hard sometimes, but we got this. You're not alone because you've got friends, you've got supporters, even if they're invisible, even if it seems like they're long distance. We got this, you guys. Okay. We got this. I mean this. Feel the conviction. Feel the faith that's in my eyes. It was so hard. It was so hard this morning. It was so hard this morning. I think it's from quitting old habits. A lot of the stuff I was able to deal with these feelings by kind of suppressing it, making things okay. Even though, and a lot of this has to do with perceptions and everything. Energies too. I know I talk a lot about that stuff, but it's people. Jumping around again. Check out the telepathy tapes. All right, if you haven't already, the telepathy tapes. It's kind of going around on the internets, more recently. But human beings are inherently telepathic and psychic. We have been reduced to such an extent through society, through abuse, through trauma, that we've gotten more and more solidified, fractured it's so hard to explain, but it's just like the traumatization made it so difficult to understand what was going on, because especially the more high vibe you are, the more sensitive you are to these telepathic things. You end up picking up on other people's thoughts, their feelings, their associations. Even if their facial expressions aren't showing it, if they're thinking bad thoughts about you, or they're hating on you, or jealous, or something else is going on, and they're pointing at you, but just mentally, just kind of mentally, emotionally, if you're a sensitive person, you're gonna feel it. And if you're not prepared, it's gonna catch you by the wayside. And I think that's a lot of the problems that people who are raising their vibes, raising their vibration, are experiencing. Is that as your gifts come more into alignment again, you're going to start picking up on people, and you're going to start realizing that a lot of the people you've surrounded yourself with aren't people that you want to be with. That they're not on the same vibe, and they're not coming with you. Is like this the essentially what it is. It's just, and I think we all go through this. Everyone is raising their vibes, man. We go through a similar process where there's individuals who we've been around maybe our entire lives, or a group, or a club, or whatever it is. But then when you start raising your vibes, it's like through for me, I'm very slow. I really want to emphasize that I have needed so much, I guess, research in order to understand things and really drive it home for me. Because I've tried to hold on to way too much. I like way too much, and maybe it's just part of the process. But I want people to be forgiving of themselves, okay? Because it's hard, and letting go is a process. It's a process. Be allowing of yourself to. If I'm going to go back to this, I wanted to. I more or less played around with quitting my habit for like 10 years. Like, it wasn't something that I've, maybe longer, you guys, if I'm going to be 100% honest, maybe 15 years. But it's been a habit I've wanted to drop because of many factors. On another level, it helped me deal. It helped me deal because so much of my vibes and everything, I was living in a world with people, with situations that I would never choose for myself. Like seriously, I don't know what else to say. I would never choose actively, consciously, these circumstances that I had found myself in, and I didn't know how to get out. I didn't have the tools. I wasn't able to really let go. I might have been receiving guidance and stuff. It maybe just wasn't time. I don't know what it was, but it took a long time. So be allowing of yourself. Treat yourself with love. As much as you possibly can, and that's the hardest thing about letting go. Is that's what you're trying to, at least for me, that's what I was trying to let go into, was loving myself more. But it's hard when you're encountering these feelings, these associations, and these patterns that are contrary to that. And so I've got like not quite a week, but a good many days, just cold turkey, nothing, not picking up my habit. It's not, I'm not going to say what it is exactly. You guys can maybe guess. I bet you guys could guess. But, it's been hard. Yeah, not as hard as it was the previous times, but usually this is what happens. And what happened today was just like all of the negative, KYS feelings come back. And how am I supposed to deal with that when I don't have my drug of choice, right? What am I supposed to do? Am I just supposed to then follow through with that stuff? And it's like, nah. That was part of the ritual too. I swear I'll post it, you guys. I'll post it. I'm getting stuff in order, all right. But yeah. Yeah, that was part of me letting go too this time, was just not only, and I was ready. I was really ready. Where I was not only just letting go of habits, but the thought patterns and the things which cause the habits. And since I recognized that, I was able to create symbolism and perform the ritual to be able to do that. And I love stuff. Guys, if you see it as just as part, like even if you don't see the world in like a mystical or miraculous kind of a way, think of it like in a psychological way, where we have these psychological patterns and associations, and that when we create a story and perform actions, it creates like psychological what's the inertia is like the best way to say it. And it helps us remember too in attaching meaning to symbols and then using those symbols in ritual. What you're essentially able to do is create momentum for a lot of these things, and that's what I was able to do finally. Is that I recognized enough, I was ready, because I didn't want to commit to stopping if I wasn't ready to stop, because I'd done that. It's devastating, you guys. You kind of go through this. You almost binge. You binge when you're like, I'm done. I got a new life going on, and then you start going that new life, and then all of a sudden, all the old shit just comes piling back on, and if you're not ready to give up, that's what ends up happening is you go back. And then if you made that commitment before, you feel like a POS, man. Not a point of service. I'm not talking about a point of service. You feel bad. And then you end up just indulging even more, just binging. Like, that's the best way to say it. And then it takes time to climb back up. It's, and life is experience. I experienced it a lot. My opinion, maybe you don't have to experience it at all. That'd be, in my opinion, that'd be maybe ideal. Maybe not. Maybe, we go through what we need to. But if it's something that you need to experience, I would say you only need to experience it once. All right, no more. Like multiple times, you're just gonna see how shitty it really is to experience that. But like I said, it's a process. So many people coming from addiction. It's hard, man. It's not easy. It's not easy. And my particular addiction was inherited. It was kept secret from me for a good portion of my life. But my dad was a closet addict, and he didn't show really his family at all. And he was gone a lot. He was gone an awful lot, very, very distant. And now I know why. I know why. It's because he's an addict. And when I got to a place of adulthood, like young adulthood, I somehow got exposed to the same thing. And I took to it like a fish to water, man. It was like I had found the solution. Is like the best way to put it. All of this pain, all of this misery that I felt was gone when I used. It was gone, and it was just like, whew, why wouldn't people like this? People are nuts, man. Why isn't everybody using? It doesn't make any sense. And I see, I have a better perspective now. But it's taken a long time to get there, and on people on the other side of the fence, I think the people who have kicked addictions for themselves, who are the most understanding and forgiving of people who still have addictions, I think, are the people I mostly identify with. It doesn't mean you have to tolerate their presence or jump back into that stuff though either. But just and I see we keep ourselves safe. So a lot of the people who hate addicts, who absolutely hate addicts, I would say you got to do forgiveness work on yourself. You're not hating them, you're hating yourself. You're hating yourself, and that's something it takes time. You got to let that go, man. You're on the better path now, and you got to trust yourself. You're not going to go back to that. All right, you're not going to go back to that. You got better things to do now. You got better lives to live. And it's all on the upward swing now. And so dealing with those feelings, like I can tell you what I did. I didn't really do anything. And I think that's part of the process as well. Like I just sat with the feelings, and they were like the most miserable feelings that I had ever felt, and I was just getting overwhelmed. I'm sure I'll feel them again sometime, because I've been through a lot, you guys. I think we all have. Like when you start to realize, when you start to talk to addicts, like serious addicts who have used for a long time, you start to realize they're covering up massive amounts of pain and trauma. And they've been using to function, to stay in this world, to stay in this universe. And, on that level of respect, anybody who doesn't kick the bucket, kudos. You're a brave soul. You're a brave soul. With that said, you know, continuing to use is a death sentence. Just like all of these people, man. And I don't, I know this might not be a popular point of reference. From the patterns that I've seen, a lot of what would be considered non addicts are actually secret addicts. Um, Sorry, flies, mosquitoes. That's why I'm waving them away. Um, but just patterns that are killing themselves. And so even if someone says, "Well, I'm not an addict. I don't do that," and be like, "Okay, do you work a 9 to 5? Right? What do you do in your off time? Hmm? What do you eat? Do you get exercise? Do you have a habit, a hobby? Is it healthy? Ooh, oh wait, we're starting to uncover things, huh? Maybe you are an addict, right? Maybe there are patterns and things in your life that you are using to cover up your pain, and you can't let those go. What's the definition of that, man? What's the definition of that? You know, and that's why my stance, my premise here is that we're all in this together, you guys. The people who say otherwise are, I would say, the addicts who can't be helped right now. They're on their own path. You got to let them go. You got to let them do their thing. They're going to continue to use. And I would say one of the biggest uses and abuses that isn't necessarily recognized widespread is people's addiction to anger, and then making other people wrong so that oneself can be right. Now, if you have to make other people wrong in order to be right, what are you going to do? You're going to make everybody invalid, because nobody's going to completely share your perspective. Like I said that in another video, where just your perspective's unique. All right, nobody's got your perspective, even if people share most of it. You know, even 99.9% of it, there's going to be that 0.1% that people don't share. And so then what? If you got to make people wrong to be right, you got to invalidate that whole person then. Right? And you'll make up a story about it too. Like, that's why, you know, be careful with religion and things. They can explain certain things, because on one level I would say, oh yeah, people who are heavily into their addictions and are still very much in their pain and unaware of it, I would say are almost demon possessed. At the same time, I've seen really heavily traumatized individuals projecting their own pain and misery onto everybody else and making everybody else demon possessed. All right, so it's one of those things where you just got to roll with the punches, you guys. We got to do our best, and there's nothing more is asked of us. And sometimes the best is just showing up. Sometimes the best is taking another breath. Sometimes your best is drinking a glass of water. All right. Sometimes your best is laying in bed. All right, just laying in bed. You know, and I won't say what the next step would be, but not doing things is sometimes the best you can possibly do. Sometimes not doing anything is the best thing you can do. And so I really want to drive that home. I really want to drive that home for people who are suffering, for people who are out there. I want to do better for my videos. I want to you know, put tags in. I want my videos to find the right people. And so I can I can trust the universe and the algorithm to find the right people. I know this will find the right people at the right time. But I also want to put forward the effort for myself. You know, you work within the system so that it can help find the right people. I know I've been meandering all over the place. I think I've done pretty good, though. I think I've done pretty good today. Because it's okay, you guys. It's okay. I really, really want to convey that. It's okay to have off days, off times. And the best thing that we can do in that is just give ourselves space. All right? So much of, at least American society, and I would say corporate society, because it's kind of taken over the world, if you ask me. But this go, hustle energy doesn't allow space to heal, doesn't allow space to recognize, reflect. It gets people stuck in a mindset of survival. and or it's really survival. Even the people who are so wealthy and they've been hustling, why don't they stop, man? You know, when is 3 yachts too much? Would be my, how many yachts do you need? All right, those people are addicts. All right, and they are traumatized. They won't admit it probably, and because we're feeding them our energy and we're putting them on a pedestal, it's like they're the king addicts is kind of what it is, and so they're not even really aware of where they're really at because everyone else has placed them on a pedestal. And it is what it is, guys. What ends up happening too is these people fall. Usually these people fall, sometimes even after their death. I don't want to go too much into details about certain things, but just like look up a little bit about Andrew Carnegie. All right, he's espoused as this really great philanthropist, this wonderful person, and then the end of his life was not that good, you guys. And it's because of the things which happened. All right, we're all accountable in the end. All right, we're all accountable in the end. And so my premise is be accountable now, man. Be accountable now. That way, it's not even gonna sting less at the end. It's not gonna sting at all. It's gonna be like the celebration. It's gonna be like, look at the life that you lived. Look at the choices that you made. You faced your fears. You did this, and you were your best. And it's different when you don't take accountability. If you're always stuck in that, if you're doing that, because at the end, the reflection period is forced. And then you see, like, I don't know how to convey this. I know this sounds spiritual, religious maybe, but just like at the end, you see everything that you've done. And if you haven't taken accountability up until that point, it is the biggest slap in the face ever. I think a good example of that would be Anton LaVey. Just like the people that I'm talking about. At the end, we recognize what is the truth, and it's not grab as much as you can. It's not use more than the other person or use as much as freaking possible. That's not the purpose. All right, these things are here to help us learn and enjoy and grow. Right? Oh my gosh, but maybe it's a sign, right, to move on. But maybe to end the video, right? 30 minutes is pretty good. But yeah, you guys, like, trust your path. Trust your path, all right? It's all good. It's all good. We all go, my opinion is we're all addicts, all right? Every single one. Like, there's something that we're using to keep ourselves afloat in the misery. But we have to stop using and also get rid of that perspective which keeps us in the misery. And it is a process, you guys. I wish I had a pill, an easy solution, a technique that works every time, but it's not like that. The closest technique, wording, advice that I can give is what everybody else probably says who's on this path. You give yourself space. Give yourself space. Love yourself. Whatever that means. In the depths of when it was the hardest for me and those suicidal feelings would come back up, I did use again, and it saved me. All right, in those times, that was what I needed. Now I'm no longer in those times. Thank God. Thank God those times are behind me. But with that said, be patient with yourself. All right, guys. We're all coming from different angles, and it's a process. So, love you guys. You're with me. I'm with you. We're in this together. Love making content. I'm getting better at it slowly but surely. Gonna keep wandering, finding new places to go. I prefer filming in nature. I strongly prefer filming in nature. It's nice. It's beautiful. Environment's good. Usually not too many people. You wouldn't really know it so much by my videos, but I'm usually fairly close to houses and other people. It just happens to be that way because I live in a big city. And there's some areas which are much, much more sparse, but I got to travel out to get to those places. And so it is what it is. Anyway, enough about that. I love you guys. Take it easy, all right?